Hey everybody, welcome back. And I'm just going to do a quick update on the antenna situation and the doublers and stuff. But in this video, I'll actually walk through some of this. But you can see down here, I've got a doubler. So that is underneath the passenger seat. I have another one on the other side. So those are where my two comms antennas will go. And then what I've also done is around the front here, underneath the passenger seat, I've got the doubler in here. This would be for the ADS-B antenna. This doubler I just purchased from Vans. It's a pretty light little doubler, but you can see that's set in there. And then the other thing that I've decided to do is I wasn't originally going to mount it, but you can see down here, I've got the bracket in place now for my flow sensor. Originally I was going to mount it on the engine somewhere, but I thought, it's probably good enough here. And right now I've got all the other pieces out, but did some cleanup and then underneath. So I'll walk you through it. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, don't forget, subscribe and leave a like. And I'll just kind of give you an update on how I did some of these things. Cheers, bye. So one of the tricks that I use to make my doubler for the antennas, you see I just made this myself, some aluminum that I had purchased. But basically what I did is the antenna comes with this backing plate, and I use that as a template to get my doubler holes for it aligned. And then once I had those aligned, then I drilled out all the other holes that are going to be for the rivet that hold it in place. But you can see here, that was an easy way to do it. That way I know all the lines, all the holes line up. And I use this same plate to drill the holes in the bottom of the plane. Then what I did is I attached this underneath because I didn't have enough room down here to be able to get the drill in and drill these out. All I did was attach this underneath the plane on the bottom through those holes that are there for the actual bolts for the antenna, and drilled up through the bottom. And then when I got that done, then I took this plate, polished it, cleaned it up a little bit, and then I did a machine countersunk all of these holes that are used for the rivets, so that when I dimple the skin, the dimples come up, and then this just goes down over the top of it. Anyway, just a little quick tidbit for, if you're wondering how I did it. And also, in case I hadn't mentioned it, this is the antenna that I have for my ADS-B. It wasn't that expensive. It was a CI 105, pretty lightweight, but yeah, that's the antenna. Anyway, cheers, bye. Now that I'm gonna put a doubler on my antenna, and I need to put it on, the metal's already, all the sheet is on the plane, I'm going to need to dimple the underside of the skin. In order to do that, I use this nifty little tool. Basically, it's just a couple of dies with the dimple on it, and you put it on, a nail. In this case, I've got it on a 4D nail, and I just sanded the 4D nail down a little bit, so that it'll fit down in a number 40 hole. This way the top of the nail is big enough that it won't come through, and it'll hold pretty well. And so what you do is you put it on kind of backwards. So on the bottom of the skin, I need the dimple to be facing up. So I take this guy and put him on the bottom, and I drop this down through the hole. And basically what happens is come over here, you can see all of the various holes I've got down here. I take one of these, drop it into one of these holes. And now that it's in one of those holes, I'll get underneath the plane, and I'll use my pull rivet gun, my rivet gun, to just put the bottom piece on, and then squeeze them together. And when I squeeze them together, what it's going to do is it's going to create the dimple for me. So anyway, I'll show you that in a minute. underneath here. But you can see right here, I've got 2 dimpled, and that's what they look like. So they come out okay. And then I just got to do all the rest of them. But I figured I'd share that as one of the things that you need to be thinking about doing. And if you don't have it, those are pretty handy. Now, what's interesting about this is I have a number of these rivet guns. This is a cheap one that I had, and I don't know why. I've got a really expensive one, but this thing seems to work the best. And like I said, you just take this, and you're going to basically put it together like so, and then you put it into the gun, and when you pull the trigger, it's going to squeeze it and put the dimple in the aluminum skin. Thought I'd show you that. It is something you're going to have to think about, like I said, if you're going to do that. And there's a few places where you had to do that. I've used it quite a few times, and it's worked out pretty good. But I figured I'd share that just in case. Cheers.